somebody has to win this division, right? And if you've been keeping track of the videos, you're probably wondering, damn, every team is under 500, like drastically under 500. So you're like, who's going to win the division, right? You had Carolina, 4-win team, Tampa to 5 wins, and we had New Orleans at 7. So you're probably wondering, is Atlanta the team to beat in the division, or is 7 games going to be enough to win the division? Well, we know last season the Atlanta Falcons were 7-10, and I think they're gonna have a better year. Now they had Marcus Mariota as quarterback last year. Marcus Mariota wasn't that good. He wasn't good at all. The team wasn't good, offense, defense. But now they're gonna hand the keys over to Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder, who I believe he was a rookie last year. Now he's going to be a starter. He's getting the keys to the city. He's going to have Bijan Robinson, Drake London at wideouts, Mac Hollins, Scott Miller. I mean, not sexy names. Nobody knows who these guys are. Juno Smith and Kyle Pitts. Juno Smith? I thought Juno Smith was... Okay, so Kyle Pitts and Juno Smith. His tight ends. Those are pretty decent weapons to have. So I think that the Falcons, like when you're a young quarterback, inexperienced, you want to have tight ends. I think Kyle Pitts is going to have a big year. Kyle Pitts may be a top 5 receiver as far as like fantasy receivers. He might be one of the better tight ends this year. He could be a top 5, top 3 tight end production wise by the end of the season. So if you're out there looking for a fantasy tight end, Kyle Pitts is a guy to look at, because Ridder is going to be looking for a security blanket, right? This is just my estimation. So I think the Falcons come in here with an opportunity in this very weak division to really sneak up on some teams. So if I had to make a guess, I would say that the Atlanta Falcons will be the division champs, and we're gonna go over how it will happen and how many games we think they will win. But spoiler alert, we have them as division champs in our predictions. So let's get to the schedule. Now, before I get to the schedule, I want to say that you guys should like and subscribe to the channel. I haven't said that in none of the videos. They're telling me I need to say this more. I don't know why. No one's watching anyway. But just like and subscribe to the channel if you are watching. So let's get to the schedule, shall we? Week 1 at home, hosting the Carolina Panthers. Home opener against the Carolina Panthers. The 2 young quarterbacks going at it. Carolina's going to win this game on Fox, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday, September 10th. Fox. Falcons lose. Week 2, hosting the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love versus Desmond Ridder. 2 young QBs. There's going to be a lot of young QBs this year starting in the NFL. I don't think no one really noticed how many young quarterbacks are going to be behind center. Just something I'm just noticing, especially in the NFC. NFC is like everywhere. Like how many, you know, look at every team around the league. I mean, who's the most veteran quarterback in the NFC right now? Derek Carr from the Saints. Geno Smith, Sea Chickens, Daniel Jones might be. I know he's been around a little bit, not that long, but he's a senior now in the NFC class. Dak Prescott obviously might be the Dak Carr, and Cousins might be like the old heads of the NFC, right? It's like 3 or 4 of them. But everyone else is very young, couple of years in, or backups that are getting starting jobs for the first time. So anyway, whatever. Week 3. Week 3 at Detroit. They're gonna fall there, so they're gonna beat Green Bay in week 2. I don't know if I said that. So now after losing at Detroit, they're gonna be 1-2. Then they go on a 2-game winning streak. They actually win overseas on ESPN Plus 8:30. Who's gonna be up at 8:30 in the morning watching ESPN Plus? Isn't that like ESPN 55 or something? ESPN Plus, that's like a streaming platform. 8:30 in the morning, you gotta load up the laptop or the tablet or your cell phone to get ESPN Plus, and you gotta pay for ESPN Plus. That's not free, right? That doesn't come with your cable subscriber, like whatever cable company you with. They don't offer ESPN Plus. You gotta buy that. Are you really gonna buy ESPN Plus to watch Atlanta versus Jacksonville? No offense to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is gonna have a great year, but really, who's watching that? The fact they even put that game on ESPN Plus is ridiculous in itself, right? At least put a game on that people would actually go and spend money to go get, right? But that's just and then the game's gonna be played overseas at 8:30 in the morning. So I don't know. This is me. I think that's kind of weird. I mean, YouTube TV would have been better. But anyway, the Falcons will win that game, and then they also will win back at home when they come back home against the Houston Texans. So now they're 3-2 on the season, winning 3 of the last 4 at this point. And then they will hit a skid. They will go on a 3-game loser streak, losing at home to Washington and losing on the road at Tampa and at Tennessee before heading home to face the Vikings in week 9. Now, week 9, this is where the Falcons get things together. They start rolling a little bit. They made a little bit of changes in the lineup possibly. And they go on another winning streak, go on a 3-game winning streak. This time they win at home against the Vikings. Then they'll go on the road and beat Arizona in week 10 before the bye week. So the bye week, not looking too bad, Not looking too bad. 5-5 heading into week 11. A 500 team. I mean, that is something that if you're a Falcon fan at this point, you're excited about this. You're happy. You're like, okay, we'll take this. They're still in the running because the division is so bad. It's still in the running to win the division at this point. And all you got to do is win the division and you're going to get in the playoffs, right? So week 12 comes up. You got home to Atlanta. You're going to win that. So now you're above 500. Week 13, you head out to New York. I know I keep saying New York. You know what I mean. MetLife in Jersey. Take on the Jets. And that's where you're going to lose that game. Aaron Rodgers is going to taunt you on Fox December 3rd. But then you go on a 3-game winning streak again. Another 3-game winning streak. You got 2 3-game winning streaks this year for the Atlanta Falcons. They come back at home. They beat Tampa. Then they go out to Carolina to beat the Panthers. Then they play the Indianapolis Colts at home, and they beat the Colts. And then they will lose their final 2 games of the year. But at that point, it doesn't matter because they already won the division. They lose to Chicago, and then they'll lose to New Orleans. So the Falcons will finish 9-8 on the season. Now, 9-8. The schedule this year for the Falcons is kind of favorable. It's not that bad, right? It's really not. Now, is 9-8 the best case scenario for the Falcons? Yes, because if I'm looking at the schedule again, if I'm going over it again, could they lose overseas against the Jaguars? Is that a losable game? Yes. But also, week 1 at home to Carolina is a winnable game, so we cancel each other out with that. Could they lose? Could they win at Tampa and at Tennessee? Possible. but I say no. Right? Could they win at home against Washington? Yes. So we get, so it still cancels out, but it still gets them about 8 wins. I mean, either way, you look at the schedule, it's 8 wins out of this schedule, right? It may not be exactly the way I said it, but I still see 8 wins on here regardless. There's still 8 wins here, and I still think it's enough for them to win the division. That's what I believe. There's 8 wins here. You may think I'm crazy by saying 9. In some cases, some people, if you're a Falcon fan, you probably think you can win 10 or 11, right? Because you're the fan of the team. Of course, you're going to have high hopes. But realistically, I see about 8 wins. Worst case scenario, 7 wins. But I see 8. I see 8 to 9. But we're going to stick to 9 and 8 because that's what I came up with. So that would be enough to win the NFC South division by 2 games. Support top predictions, because I think the second place team is a 7-win team. That would be the New Orleans Saints. So, yeah, 9 and 8, the only team over 500 in the division. Congratulations to the Atlanta Falcons. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play, and the players are playing Arthur Blank. Is that his name? He would be happy to win 9 games in a division crown.